Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to News Dose. And so far, when it comes to this generation of consoles, the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series, one thing that fans really want is for this just true next generation visuals. And so far, I think that we've gotten some really good games this generation, by far, but I think that fans want to see something that's just not capable on these last generation consoles. And well, it looks like a highly anticipated upcoming Xbox Series console exclusive might be getting those visuals that fans have been asking for such a long time. So we're going to go over that today, as the developer did let a secret out of the bag. And then also, we got some Nintendo games to talk about today, as it does look like a few of their B-tier, quote-unquote B-tier games are performing incredibly well. So we will be talking about that one today as well. And if you like what you hear today, make sure to hit that bell notification and subscribe button, as I do cover all of the gaming news across the game industry Monday through Friday every single week. So if you want to stay up to date with all of the gaming news, make sure to hit that bell notification and subscribe button. With that said though, as always, let's just jump right into it. Now, yesterday we did talk about that Nintendo Indie World Showcase. They did reveal 19 independent games at that showcase, and the big surprise that just had a lot of fans excited, me included, was Axiom Verge 2. I mean, of course, we already knew about this game, and I've talked about it several times on this channel, but it actually launched yesterday. Yes, this was a shadow drop into the Nintendo eShop and into PlayStation 4 and PC. So if you did miss out on the news yesterday, you can actually go download Axiom Verge 2 right now. Now, the first game was absolutely amazing. It's one of my favorite Metroidvanias, probably in my top 5 or 6. Really liked the first game. And it looks like the second game, so far, critics are painting it as yet another really good Metroidvania-style game. It currently sits at an 80 overall score on Metacritic. The first game did get an 84 overall score on a PlayStation 4 with 61 reviews, but right now, Axiom Verge 2 still has a lot of reviews to come. Right now, it only has 8 reviews with 6 positive and 2 mixed. We'll kind of see where this one ends up, but early signs are definitely pointing to this being yet another good Metroidvania-style game. And for that matter, completely disregarding Metacritic for a moment, if you like the first Axiom Verge, it does sound like you're going to like the second one, so you can kind of be a judge of that yourself. Now, we also got some updates on some upcoming Life is Strange games. I know a lot of fans are really excited about these upcoming Life is Strange games, whether they be True Colors or you got that Remastered collection. And, well, I got some good news, and then, unfortunately, yeah, I also have some bad news as well. So we'll kind of start off with the good news here, as Life is Strange True Color is set to release on September 10th, with the Life is Strange Wavelengths DLC set to release on September 30th. They did reconfirm this once again, so that looks pretty set in stone, and really anybody that's looking forward to the next big Life is Strange game, yeah, you're going to have a lot to look forward to this September. That game right now is looking pretty good with the emotional connections and the story. I really enjoyed the first game a lot, and I'm hoping True Colors kind of brings back that magic from the first game once again. Now, unfortunately though, Life is Strange Remastered Collection was delayed for the PC, PlayStation, Xbox, Stadia, and the Nintendo Switch until early 2022. So that part is a little bit more disappointing, but it's also understandable at the same time. They did say that they're trying to give the Life is Strange team a little bit more time between the release of Life is Strange True Colors and the Life is Strange Remastered Collection. And just like many other studios, the Life is Strange team has been impacted with, a lot of these ongoing work conditions that a lot of these studios have been dealing with for the last year and a half. It's just something that the whole game industry is dealing with right now, and that's why we're seeing game delay after game delay in the year of 2021. Now, 2022 is looking absolutely stacked right now, with a lot of these games being delayed really early into 2022. I think the first quarter of 2022 is just going to be absolutely insane. And really, for that matter, if you are looking forward to Life is Strange, at least you have True Colors to look forward to this September. So you will have that, and because it is a completely separate story than the original Life is Strange games, you don't have to worry about getting caught up or anything like that. So I would just say, just go ahead and remain patient, and, eventually when that remastered collection comes in, definitely go check it out because those really are good overall adventure-style games. Let's go ahead and take a look at some different Xbox-related topics, though, starting off with Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite, of course, is Xbox's big holiday release in the year of 2021, and there is just so much excitement built up for this game. Of course, it was delayed from 2020 to 2021, but so far we haven't gotten a confirmed release date just yet. Now, I've kind of talked about this on the channel before. Phil Spencer gave a reason for that and said that that was because they're waiting for some other games to announce their release date before they give an exact release date themselves. And that's actually really smart because you don't want to overcrowd a specific time period with games that are similar to one another. You know, they're not going to want to release their game right next to Call of Duty. That's not going to be good for Call of Duty, and it's not going to be good for Halo. That just doesn't make a lot of sense. We saw that happen with Titanfall. Titanfall is a great first-person shooter, but it launched around some other big first-person shooters as well, and it just kind of got buried amongst the mix. So what Xbox is doing here is actually really smart, but it hasn't exactly stopped speculation that Halo Infinite might end up being delayed to 2022. Again, I never really believed all that, but yeah, there's been a lot of speculation because they haven't confirmed a release date just yet that it will end up being delayed. And, well, I actually have some good news on that front because the Australian Classification Board did rate both Halo Infinite's campaign as well as its multiplayer. It did receive a mature 18 rating, but the big news here is that it did get a rating, and that often does point to an imminent announcement of a release date. That's not always the case, but a lot of the times when you do see a game get rated somewhere, a release date does shortly pop up somewhere thereafter. And I do think that it is very possible that that will happen maybe even in the next couple weeks. Now, I'm not going to say this is an absolute guarantee or anything like that, but Gamescom is right around the corner, and Xbox does have their own event on August 24th. So when you start to put things together, I think what might happen here is that Halo Infinite's single-player campaign will actually be reintroduced during that Gamescom event, and we might even get a release date there as well. Now, I'm personally extremely excited to see the single player. I know last year, Halo Infinite got a lot of criticism for that infamous Craig demo, but I do actually have a lot of confidence in Halo Infinite right now. The multiplayer so far has been excellent, and in terms of gameplay, I actually thought that the original Halo Infinite demo did look really good. The visuals wasn't quite where you want them to be, but with that extra year of development, I think this game is going to both look excellent as well as play excellent. So I'm really excited to see Halo Infinite once again, and I think that might happen on August 24th at the Xbox Gamescom event. Keep in mind, that's just a prediction, but this rating here is definitely a good sign that Halo Infinite will in fact release in the year of 2021. Now, we also got a really exciting update for a highly anticipated Xbox Series console exclusive, and that would be Stalker 2. Now, there's already a lot of excitement for Stalker 2, especially over on the PC side of things. These are actually pretty popular games over on PC, but it was kind of surprising to see this game come over to the Xbox Series as well, and they've showcased this game a few different times now, and when we have seen this game, it's looked absolutely gorgeous. It's probably one of the best looking next generation games that has been showcased so far, and you can really see just all over the place just how realistic and just it really does look amazing. You can kind of see how the light reflects from even when the guns are shooting across the floor. Like I said, this game looks striking and very realistic. And well, it's starting to make a little bit more sense because Stalker 2 has now been confirmed to be using Unreal Engine 5. And that right there is incredibly exciting for multiple reasons, which I'll kind of get into. And the first of which is we've already kind of seen how much of an improvement Unreal Engine 5 is over Unreal Engine 4. The Coalition here recently did put out a demo running on the Xbox Series X, and it looked absolutely phenomenal. Now, keep in mind that that is just a tech demo and doesn't really represent any type of gameplay, but you can definitely tell how big of an improvement it is. And even before that, we got that PlayStation 5 demo that was showcased about a year ago, and once again, you kind of saw just how impressive it actually was. So yeah, Unreal Engine 5 is a pretty ginormous upgrade, and I think it's really going to showcase these next generation consoles, and in fact, we're kind of seeing that right now with Stalker 2. And that's actually the other part that's really exciting about this, is because Stalker 2 will be launching on April 28th of 2022, so this will actually be one of the first games to use Unreal Engine 5. So we're going to see Unreal Engine 5 in action a little bit earlier than what I think some of us even expected. I mean, Stalker 2 is right around the corner. Yeah, this is going to be a big visual showcase for these next generation consoles, and you know what's really cool about all this? Is that Stalker 2 is actually going to be launching directly into Xbox Game Pass. I still almost can't believe it. Not only is Stalker making a comeback, but it's also coming to the Xbox, and it's going to be available day one on Xbox Game Pass. And now, just as an added bonus, it's also running on Unreal Engine 5. Yeah, I think this game's definitely going to grab some headlines, and for all those people that's been waiting for years and years to play the next Stalker game, it's finally going to happen, and you know what? It's looking really, really good so far. Regardless if you've played these games in the past or not, though, you will be able to play this on Xbox Game Pass day one, and that means not only will you get a chance to play one of the most atmospheric franchises of all time, but also you're going to be able to play one of the first Unreal Engine 5 games that hits the market. So this game got even more exciting than what it already was. Let's go ahead and take a look at some Nintendo games for a moment, though, because GameStop actually posted their top 5 most pre-ordered games for the Nintendo Switch. Now, they haven't specified on what order these games are just yet. Apparently, they will do that later on, and that might even happen before this video goes live. With that said, though, let's just go and take a look at the most pre-ordered Nintendo Switch games over at GameStop, and that includes Shin Megami Tensei 5, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Mario Party Superstars, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and then Metroid Dread. Now, the Pokemon games and Mario Party Superstars really aren't all that surprising, considering just how popular these franchises are as a whole. We've already seen this generation with Super Mario Party, just how successful that game's been on the Switch. It's already sold well over 10 million copies worldwide, and it continues to sell to this date. And this one actually looks to be better than Super Mario Party so far, so I'm not really surprised to see that one in the top 5 charts here. And we all know just how popular Pokemon is as a whole. I love the Pokemon franchise myself. I actually do have both of those games pre-ordered. I actually have all 5 of these games pre-ordered for that matter. But yes, Pokemon is one of my favorite franchises of all time, and I love seeing them just have continued success year after year. But the 2 games that I'm really happy to see here actually would be Metroid Dread and then Shin Megami Tensei 5. Now, these games would be more considered your B-tier franchises for the Nintendo Switch. The Metroid franchise is well known for being one of the best to ever be made, but these games typically have not sold incredibly well. So that's why I'm really excited to see Metroid Dread so far perform as well as it has been. I do believe that this particular Metroid will end up being the best-selling Metroid game of all time, or at least until Metroid Prime 4, and you're kind of already seeing it. There's just so much hype surrounding this game. I've never seen so much hype for a Metroid game before, and I'm really hoping that that translates to a breakthrough for the Metroid franchise. I mean, we've seen time and time again with the Nintendo Switch, a lot of these games do perform better on the Switch, and I think this could be big for the Metroid franchise. As for Shin Megami Tensei 5, though, and this is another really well-known JRPG, but, you know, these games typically haven't sold incredibly well. But this is post-Persona 5 success. Persona 5 was a big success, and, well, Persona is technically a spin-off of the Shin Megami Tensei franchise, and I think a lot more people are starting to recognize these games as well. And for that matter, I mean, every time that I see this game, it looks fantastic. They actually posted a trailer just yesterday, which I will leave a link in the description below for the full trailer. It looks exceptional. I think the gameplay looks good, the story sounds interesting, the atmosphere, everything that I've seen about Shin Megami Tensei 5, it really does look like a top-tier JRPG. So I'm really happy to see both Shin Megami Tensei 5 and then Metroid Dread perform as well as it has so far. Now, we still need to see how well these games do when they release. Obviously, it's going to be important to see how the fans react to these games when they actually play it for themselves. But right now, all of the early signs are that not only are these games good, but yes, people are incredibly excited as well. And that's what I'm happy to see. And onto the poll of the day. I asked you all, what letter grade would you give the Nintendo Indie World Showcase for August 11th of 2021? Of course, the Nintendo Indie World Showcase took place yesterday, and they had 19 new games to show, but I wanted to know exactly how you all felt about it. And, well, the majority of you, being 45%, gave it a C, while 26% of you gave it a B. And you know what? I think that's pretty much where I would probably place it as well. I felt like this was kind of the opposite of the Xbox Indie Showcase that took place just a couple days ago. I kind of talked about it yesterday, but I gave the Xbox Indie Showcase a C+, because I thought that they had excellent games to show. Pretty much everything that they revealed there, I was actually intrigued about. But in terms of its structure and pacing, it was just terrible. It was another 2-hour-long event, and it really did not need to be 2 hours long. It's hard to keep viewership that way. But on the contrast, you had the Nintendo Indie Showcase, and I thought that they had some really interesting games there, including Axiom Verge 2, there was Eastward, they had Bomb Rush Cyberpunk for you Jet Set Radio fans out there, they had Far Changing Tides, Metal Slug Tactics, and Tetris Effect, and yeah, they definitely had some good games at this Nintendo Indie Showcase. But I wasn't really interested in as many at this particular showcase. I think Eastward, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, and Axiom Verge 2 was definitely my personal highlights. I mean, if you like Jet Set Radio, Bomb Rush obviously is going to be right up your alley. Eastward looks amazing. And in Axiom Verge 2, I'm a big fan of the first game, and I was really excited to see that just get a shadow launch really out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting that. So for that reason, I thought this event was good, but it just didn't really blow me away at the same time. So I think I'm going to go ahead and give this one a C+ as well, maybe even a B-, because there's definitely some games I'm really looking forward to here. But, I mean, you know, I gotta knock it down because, I mean, where is Hollow Knight Silksong? We need Silksong. No, I just kid. I really would like to see Silksong, obviously. But, you know, for the time being, I'm happy with what Nintendo is doing. There's a lot of really good Nintendo Switch games coming out throughout the rest of the year, or really even next year, which is looking really good. Maybe possibly Xenoblade, and so you got Splatoon, and there's a lot of indie games here to look forward to, whether it be Eastward and Axiom Verge. And yeah, I'm really happy with what Nintendo is doing right now. Anyways, though, that's it for this episode. But if you like the video, don't forget the bell notification and subscribe button for more content just like this. Also, if you'd like to support the channel through Patreon, thank you for making this content possible. Peace out.